Okay. Can you all see that?
Yeah, Luka, you're all good.
Okay, great. So for those who don't know, Vectorworks is a software for design for architects. It's a BIM enabled software, and I'll just take you through quickly building a model in Vectorworks and how sort of main things work. Just to mention, throwback to a couple of years ago when we were at CitA BIM gathering in 2019. Last time when it was an in-person event, we had a joint presentation with Sean Harrington Architects, presenting these social housing schemes in Tala, in Dublin. So this is the building that I'm going to show you today. So this is an office building, and these visualizations were actually done through Twinmotion. So Vectorworks integrates with a live link with Twinmotion, with Enscape, and with Lumion. So those three rendering softwares have a live link with Vectorworks, meaning that if I delete something in Vectorworks, it immediately reflects that in one of those rendering softwares. So I'll be showing you how you build the model up, how you go through basically the work stages, and how a BIM model and the BIM process is sort of refined from early stages and concept design and all the way through delivering construction documentation and detailed drawings. So the plan of work stages, so we'll start from sort of concept design and from massing studies, where we can use objects like spaces, spaces that are intelligent objects that can hold information about these 2D or 3D spaces, and we can run these kinds of visual filters by the use of the space. So we can show them in color based on their use, their name. We can stack them up and use them, as I said, for massing studies, for analyzing and exploring spatial relationships. And they need not be simple sort of cubic shapes. They can have more complex shapes to accurately reflect the space. All right, and then we can use them to create things like area schedules. So we can create reports, we can create worksheets, and we can group these spaces by the names. We can report which floor they sit on. We can assign them with a number. We can assign these HVAC zones or security access, and we can report areas, volumes, like more traditional metrics for spaces, and many other things as well. So in terms of modeling, it's quite sort of easy and quick to start building up models at these sort of generic stages where we just have white card renders, when we don't yet have components or materials to our architecture. So our model at this stage would look something like this. And then we can use things like the clip cube, so we can inspect the model from inside. So we can look at the interior. We can use that to create section viewports as well, which look something like this. So getting sections, elevations, plans directly from the model in the BIM workflows. And then we can also look at our model in multiple view panes. So at the same time, be looking at the 3D and at the plan. And obviously, having a model in the first place gives us the benefit of having a model, so we can add textures, we can add lighting, we can render those. So this has been rendered with Renderworks, which is the integrated Vectorworks rendering engine. So we can use that to quickly get out some visualizations. We can use also the Vectorworks extensive library that gets installed with the software. So you get that the library of these furniture elements, of lighting devices, plants, materials, etc. Okay, a little bit of surrounding context and landscaping around the building and the roof plan. So again, can populate our model and our surroundings with these objects that belong that we get in the libraries as well. And I mentioned white card renders at this point in time, where we don't really know maybe what we want as a finishing material. Okay, so the next stage would then be to have these concept generic elements and replace them with the actual walls that we want. So it's going to have a little bit of a think, and it's going to now replace these with my pre-designed walls. So you can use these from, for example, I'm again going to mention Vectorworks libraries, but while you do this, in many projects, you will start building your own office libraries, so you can reuse walls from older projects and so on. I'm going to replace the curtain walls as well, and this is now starting to build up and look more like stage 4, like technical design. So our model will start looking something approaching this. Okay, it's going to take a minute to load. There we go. So we have materials, we have components in our walls and our slabs. There is furniture, so we populated the spaces with these things. And if I inspect the model now, we can see that it's much more detailed at this stage. We can see the materialization. We can see details. We can see components at different heights and so on. So again, we can start extracting sections from the model. We can do 3D sections. I always find these very attractive looking drawings, and we can do traditional sections that look something like this. Now that they have components, we have fills, we have hatches, and so on. We have components that interact with each other. All of that directly from the model. So we can start extracting details as well. So we can use the model as a backdrop for creating these models, and then we can basically go on to the annotations section. We can start adding to the information, like for example this suspended ceiling hanger, or a skirting board, and so on. And then we can use one of the annotating tools, like for example the data tag, and I can use this floor tag. So I can tag the floors in this model, and I can see immediately these floor codes for the structural slab, and for the finished floor, and for the ceiling as well. And it gets quite sort of automated to create details with 2D information, and with data tags as well. So we can get, apart from sections, we can extract elevations directly from the model, and we can render. We can use rendered views to create these beautifully looking sections that have real-time shadows that are showing the materials. We can combine a rendered view of the elevation together with a vector-based technical drawing with proper hatch, with vector-based linear drawing, and we can overlap that with these kind of rendered views. We can create plans as well, and these types of color-coded partition types drawings, using what we call data visualization. That was the technique that I used as well for those color-coded space use diagrams that we saw earlier, and that is something that we can use as well for different wall types. So this is all automatic. If we move this wall, this will be reflected across all of the plans that are showing this. We can use data visualization for something else, for something like the fire ratings as well. So here on the left we can see the regular model view, and in here I'm applying a data visualization for the fire ratings of the walls and for the doors. So you immediately notice these kinds of things, that this particular wall doesn't have a fire rating attached to it. So you can go into the wall style options, and I can add that data directly in the wall style settings. I can type in 30 minutes. I can say OK. And then we should immediately see this wall have a fire rating. If I create a floor plan using this data visualization, I'll immediately see all of this reflected as changes immediately, and I will also have an automatically created legend as well based on my settings. Okay, so one of the things that we can also automate and create more easily are things like, for example, interior elevations, like these bathrooms. So we can create these drawings in different detail levels. So you'll notice this plan is showing a low detail level, which is probably more appropriate for scales of something like 1 to 100 or 1 to 200. But as I'm in 1 to 20, and this is a bathroom plan, high level would probably be more appropriate. So this looks much more appropriate for this drawing. And this is all possible with our hybrid symbols. So the hybrid symbols are basically allowing objects to have 3D and 2D information at the same time and at 3 different detail levels. So, for example, you can download a really nice model of a vanity unit like this off the internet, and then you can basically attach 2D representations of this same vanity unit in section, side elevation, front elevation, top, and so on, and in 3 detail levels. So this is what you'll see in low, in medium, and in high detail. And finally, you can do these kinds of things even on sheets. You can create really nice infographic style drawings and presentations as a combination of images, of viewports, of text, and so on. Okay, that was a brief run through Vectorworks, and as just to sort of continue from where Isaac and Simon left off, I will show you how Vectorworks integrates with Celibri. So we have Celibri Direct in Vectorworks, which provides a live link with Celibri. So I'm just going to play this video and show you how this works. So the first benefit of this direct connection is that you only need to create a link once. You only need to export an IFC once. You basically define where your Celibri is installed, and then you define the interaction as the changed views, changed objects, and selection, change in selection. So these are the synchronization levels. Then you hit connect, and then you can see Celibri load up on the right-hand side. So in practice, you can run the 2 softwares on separate machines, and you'll maintain the synchronization. The first thing you notice is the immediate synchronization of the cameras between both platforms. So if I switch to another view in Vectorworks, you see the camera immediately follows in Celibri. And that's the case if I use the saved views or I use the interactive camera and pan tools. And the view update is bidirectional. So if I update the view from Celibri, it also follows in Vectorworks. So it works both ways with the views. Okay, so even this is an advanced model. You can link the model at the very early stages, and you can see the benefits very early on. So let's carry out a simple model check now between the architectural components, and within Celibri, when you choose those intersections between architectural components, you run the check, and you can focus on the intersections between different kinds of components. And you can see I've isolated a component of interest in Celibri, and I'll zoom that in. And once again, we see the real-time synchronization with Vectorworks. And I can modify now the component in Vectorworks. And again, we see the modification reflected back in Celibri. So the obvious benefits, there are no updates needed, no exporting of IFCs. Again, you are seeing real-time updating taking place here. So it also works in combination with the Vectorworks multi-pane mode. So Celibri intelligently identifies the active window in Vectorworks. So we can look at different views of the same object, and that synchronization will understand that. So that shows a very, very brief run through the real-time synchronization, which allows model checking, validation, verification from very early stages of the models to finished model stages without the need of re-exporting, of lengthy re-exporting of IFCs, importing those things back again, sharing those models. This maintains the connection between the models at all times. Okay, so I don't know, how are we doing for time?
Yeah, that's great. That's perfect. Thank you very much, Luca. I mean,
Thanks.
wow, it's just, like fascinating. It's just amazing, like what you can do. And it's so visual as well, So I'd say that for users and clients anyway, it's just, a straightforward thing anyway, But I actually received a technical question, if you don't mind answering. So how do you set up data viz, and can you do demolition drawings using it?
Yes, that's actually,
Okay?
this is actually how you would do how you would approach refurbishment. It would be through data visualization. Let me just go back to where was my, all right, there it is. So basically, you set those data visualizations through this type of dialogue. So basically, it's like a rule set. You define the criteria of the objects that will meet the criteria. So at the moment, I'm looking at walls, and then it's looking at their fire ratings. So the walls that I have either 30 minutes or 60 minutes fire rating. I also have a not defined as well. And I'm showing everything else as grayed out. But basically what you would do is you would have a construction phasing property there. And then you would be looking at demolitions, at new builds, at existing, and then you can create the same kind of. Well, you can imagine probably this as having a demolition record, and then this is how everything to be demolished will be displayed.
Okay.
I hope that answers the question.
I think so. And sorry, so can I actually ask you as well, as
Mhm.
Celibri, if Vectorworks is everywhere in the world, or like, can be used in any other countries, or like, what is the situation?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, we have customers all over the world. We have our main office is in the US, but we have offices in UK and Ireland, in Canada, and in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
But also we have distributors and resellers in, I suppose, pretty much most of countries or regions, like I don't know,
Yeah.
Scandinavia or something like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, you can basically buy either a full license or a subscription on a monthly or yearly basis from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, even I have to say the collaboration with Celibri, it's fantastic knowing that you can use both software, like, and it's just amazing. It's incredible.
Yeah, it just saves a lot of time.
Exactly. Yeah, it's fantastic. And okay, well then, guys, thank you so much for these amazing presentation. And we are looking forward to see you at the BIM gathering. Okay,
Okay, yeah, thank
that's
you.
great.